Who's gonna drive you home? Well, I'm a friendless stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car on the expressway?
Okay, we're back. It's the Auto Show. Catch it every week at the same time. Chip Lyness along with Louie Herron from Louie Herron Toyota in Milledgeville. We're talking used cars today. Not right for everybody, but right for some folks.
It is. You know, the thing that I will say first is when people consider used cars, you know, Chip, back in the day, people would sell those cheaper hunks of metal and tell you that little old granny drove it to and from church, and you know it was a $5,000 car, and that was kind of the angle of used cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think nowadays the key with used cars that make them so sweet to really consider is the fact that most of the used cars are these late model used cars with low miles, still under warranty, and then the dealership typically offers some additional warranty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big thing is when you buy a car, am I going to buy somebody else's trouble? When you look at some of these cars that are being sold in the used car market, I mean, you still have the segment of people that sell those $6,000-$7,000 cars that grandma drove to and from church. Okay, they're out there, but you really can take advantage of some of these late model cars that have low miles on them. That really makes sense. So let's talk about this for a second. The thing that I think is, and you keyed on it first, the very first tip that I would tell you is if you're buying a used car, is you really avoid that big, huge depreciation and still not sacrifice in some of the new car quality. I mean, if you take a new Honda Accord LX, it may cost you $22,000. Okay, brand new, $23,000. A similarly equipped 2-year-old Accord will set you back about $8,000 from that price. Yet it's 2 years old, 22,000 miles, still under factory warranty, still have the same quality, but you're saving, you know, $8 to $10,000. Remember, we talk about on the show all the time that typically a rule of thumb is a 3-year-old used car, a 3-year-old trade-in will be worth half of what its original sticker price was.
Wow.
So if you got a $22,000 car, in 3 years it's worth $11,000. Well, if you can find a 3-year-old car with 30,000 miles on it, save $10,000, that's a great deal.
Yep.
It's something to consider. If you can drive a car that you know will run for 120, 130,000 miles, you still can get an extended service contract for extra protection, and or it still comes under factory warranty. I mean, that to me is a huge, huge savings and something to consider. Now, if, like you said with leasing, some people like the brand new smell. They like the new car. They want to make sure no one's been in it. They're the only ones to drive it. And you know what? For that convenience and for that luxury, you got to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so if dollars are important to you, you always want to take in consideration a previously owned vehicle, especially if it's under factory warranty. 2 years is a sweet spot. 2 to 3 years is, I mean, if you can find a 3-year-old car with 20 to 30,000 miles, that is the jackpot.
Yep.
Because literally you're going to pay half of what that car's worth. The depreciation takes its biggest hit in the first two to 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get past that, it levels off. So that's something to consider. The first tip, again, is you can get more car for the money and save on that depreciation. The other thing that I would consider that you need to really understand is, take this for example. Say that you've got a nicely equipped Corolla, okay, brand new Corolla that you like. But you know what? You can buy that car for $18,700, $19,000, okay? But really, you like that Corolla, but you'd rather have something bigger. Well, you can get a 1-year-old Camry, bigger car for the same price, maybe even save $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, still not sacrifice the horsepower, the safety features, the power package, the leather interior, whatever you want, and you have that luxury of taking what could be a brand new Corolla, which is nice, but then go to a 1-year-old Camry with more equipment.
Right.
And again, that's something that I don't know that a lot of people take in consideration, but that to me is a no-brainer. If you take it a step further and say, okay, well, listen, I've never really even considered a Lexus, but if I was going to consider a brand new Camry, but I can get a 2-year-old Lexus with all the bells, all the whistles, maybe you're someone who likes the prestige, you like a Lexus. Mm-hmm. Well, you could pay the same money and or less than you could a brand new Camry on a pre-owned Lexus.
Gotcha.
And again, the thing you got to consider is you're never going to sacrifice with the warranty. If you're buying smart, you still have warranty packages that are available. And most of these cars that are late model 1-year-old will be certified. When we come back from the break, I want to go over that because some people may say, well, listen, I like the new car, but, when I think about it, if I can only afford a Corolla or I can only afford a Civic, but I can get an Accord and I can still get more features and save some money, that may be the route to go. So we come back, I want to make sure that everyone understands not only can you save money, save on the depreciation, not only can you get more car for the money, I want to talk about some of the warranties that come with it, some of the certifications and what they do in the certification process.
Very good. All right, Louie, we're talking used cars today. If that perhaps is in your future, you stick around. We've got more coming up. It's the Auto Show. Chip Lyness and Louie Herron from Louie Herron Toyota across from Starbucks in Milledgeville. We've got the latest weather and more of your favorites next, and the Auto Show continues in just minutes on Doc 103.